Hello and welcome to my channel. This would be one of those videos which I would say to be bittersweet. In front of you is one of the best, hands down. My most favorite, well-kept short sword in my collection. Now, what happened to how this would be going into a bittersweet video? Bitter because this would be leaving me soon. Tomorrow. Now, not to be melodramatic about knives and all, it's just that I really like this knife. So how you ask why I came to disposing of it? Well, okay, I'm not sure whether I would want to tell you why but okay, I'll tell you. This knife is my personal knife. Wait. There are one, two, there are three of them. Now, this may well be the only three in this country, the Philippines. These are CFK Cutlery IPAK USA, IPAK Survival USA, Jack the Ripper short swords. I've already reviewed one, this guy here. I'm sure you've seen that video, or if not, do check out that video. And I was supposed to review the red one and then review the green one, but then something came up. A knife collector here in Davao City, basing on knife collectors. If you've seen my knife collection, and if you compare it to his, not just knives but sword, katana collection, I would just pale in comparison. So, to make the story short, he invited me over to his office, and asked to bring some of my knives that I deemed really was, knives that I deemed was pretty good in my collection. Now, of the three, right off the bat, I would say that this is the best. This one is a second with a slight bend on the heat treatment. When heat treatment was done, this one was sort of like very slight bend to the left. 98%, I would say, not 100% perfect. This one, it's also good. It's probably with the slighter bend still on the blade. I'd say 99.6% perfect. But this one has a perfectly straight blade. So I'd say this one would be the best. And depending on how you would look at the knives, what color you would want the micarta to be. This is green micarta, this is red micarta, and that's brown burlap micarta. I would say that this would be my personal knife. However, this is where it got interesting. I keep them in similar boxes. You know, that box. So there's three of them identical. I was running out of time and I was chasing so that I needed to go to the office and meet with a fellow collector. Now, I did not check. I was not able to check it. I thought I was bringing this one. You see, this one I would really want to dispose of this. If not dispose, it's just gonna sit in my collection. But this one is my personal, and this one was the one that I was willing. In my head, I was bringing this one. Now, when I opened the box, lo and behold, this one was inside it. I was just, I did not know what to do. It's like, oh crap. But anyways, you know, when you're there and when you're talking to people and stuff like that, you cannot take out, you cannot take back your words. So I just took it like a man. It's like, okay, if you want this knife, I'd I'd release it to you, because knowing all too well that he would be taking good care of it, and in his line of work, this would be very handy one day to be commissioned, and could save his life. You know, those kind of stuff. So bittersweet. Bitter because yes, my personal choice among the three would be leaving me. Sweet because I know it would be going to someone who would be taking good care of it, and it would be his in his entire lifetime. I mean, knowing him, I do not think he would be selling this. It would be something that will be staying with him and passing over to his next generation, if ever, because these are the quality that these knives have. So once again, these are the CFK Cutlery IPAK Survival USA Jack the Ripper knives. You know, these guys, CFK Cutlery, they do not ship to the Philippines anymore. I've had this maybe 4 years ago. So now, currently, they do not ship to the Philippines for some reason. I don't know why. You know, I was not one of those guys that did bad business with them. I was always straightforward with them, and I was very thankful that they were shipping stuff to me. However, for some reason, they just said that, oh, I'm sorry, we cannot ship to your country anymore because I don't know. They say blah blah blah. They did not give me a clear reason, but it's most probably that the customs are assholes, and there are some people assholes in the Philippines that, you know, blah blah, doing business with eBay and then doing the refund stuff, and they just, maybe they got tired of it, or maybe that's not the case entirely. There could be a mandate in the states that no shipping of knives to the Philippines anymore because uh, assholes. I don't know. I but I still thank them for, you know. But the time that they were shipping things to me, they gave me good knives, and all the knives that are here with me are kept and cherished forever. And I would strongly say that these are the only three samples of the Jack the Ripper CFK Cutlery short sword that are in existence here in the Philippines. If there's a Filipino out there, or someone here in the Philippines has this sword, please do show them, you know, in YouTube. I would be so happy because I don't know how many they made of this certain design. I'm sure it's not many. It is very small in its number. I'm not really sure. I don't want to give a number, but I've say 15, maybe 10. I'm not sure, but 3 are here. And without further ado, let me show you the blade. Let's just take out the red one. Take it. This is the blade that's gonna be leaving me very soon. And I'm gonna show you how beautiful it is. Straight off, these are machine Allen head screws. Perfect execution on the micarta here. Little bit of glue there that wasn't cleaned. But everything in this knife is 100%. No gaps in the handles whatsoever, and there's no rusting. And the green micarta is just so nice. Added some lanyard here as per request of the buyer. Let's check out the grind. The grind line is perfectly straight as can be. And that tip, it's a proper pointy tip. That is the CFK Cutlery IPAK Survival USA Jack the Ripper short sword. I mean, even the name, although that Jack the Ripper is a bad guy, you know, he was never caught, killed, murdered. I mean, even the name is just so badass, aptly named for this short sword. Recurve and a very thin profile, but the thinness is augmented by the thickness of the blade. That's perfectly straight. 100% blade. You know, you custom blade, custom handmade blades such as the CFKs, you cannot get 100% blade. I mean, this one is just 100%. Lots of things can go wrong, from grinding the bevel, plunge lines not equal. This one is just equal plunge line, and then the tip not being that sharp, and then the bevel here would not see that. It's just perfect. And very seldom that you get 100% blade, especially in the heat treatment, because in the heat treatment lots of things can go wrong. This guy is perfectly straight, and I would say 100% blade, and the best among the three. Now, also why I chose this, because this is very near to what we Filipinos use, the ginunting. Well, just near. That's why one of the reasons that I like this knife a lot, because it's very light when it's on its attack. You know, because of the slender profile of the blade. The ginunting is something like that. You know, it's a karambit like, and the edge is on this side. But the shape of the ginunting is opposite this. This one is a recurve shape, but the slenderness, you know, the profile is what made me compare it to a ginunting, because ginunting is one of one of the iconic blades here in the Philippines. Be it the sword or short sword or knife. I, for one, would need to have a ginunting in the very near future, and I think you would be seeing that. But for now, this is my equivalent of a ginunting, a very compact short sword. I mean, a sword is nice, but you cannot bring but you cannot bring it anywhere. This one, the size is just perfect. From the tip of the blade going to the here, it's 17.5 inches. Tip of the blade, I mean the bladed edge, that's 11 inches of total bladed area. Full tang, I mean everything is just 17.5 inches of D2 steel, heat treated with care, thus getting that perfect straight on the blade, and it's just a beautiful knife, period. Let's check the weight. .4 ounces, 1.52 pounds, 692 grams. Just about in that area. Anything heavier, 700 plus going to 800, it's just too heavy of a short sword to wield. I mean, that would be, for me, would be the sweet weight, 693 grams sweet weight of a short sword, be it a machete or a kukri. Kukri, we'll be talking about kukri soon. So if I was to choose, I would be aiming for that weight, not more than 700 grams, because anything more than that, the recovery would suffer. I mean, as you swing, especially with this one, it's just the blade is so light because of the thin profile, so most of the weight is here in the tang, and the thickness of the blade, the spine would be so strong and it would not lead to breakage. So a very nicely designed knife, if I say so. Now, in fairness, this guy is no slouch. I mean, look at that. But the thing is, it has that very slight that I would say would not make it. Maybe I was so harsh to it. I would say it's 98.6%. Still one of the nicer blades in there, and one of the only 3 samples of the CFK Cutlery IPAK Survival USA Jack the Ripper knife. And of course, to complete the triumvirate for the very last time, I would take this to war anytime, because I'm sure you're gonna be having your primary long arm and a sidearm. You wouldn't want a sword. You want something this short, and then have a knife with you, or a dagger, a boot knife, and the list goes on and on. But these are the primary guys that I would choose to. Very similar to the Book of Eli, and how that he's carrying that one very iconic bolo, and for me, I would be doing this. I mean, it would chop fast, really fast. This one doesn't have that perfect, straight. So yeah, we've taken well, last the thickness. How thick do you think that is? Is that 5? 1, 2, 3, 4. 4.5. 4 millimeters, 5 millimeters. And there you have it, folks. This is the only 3 here in the Philippines, and this is the only time that these guys would be in this group picture together, because they would now be, they're like brothers, and they're like brothers that one is gonna be given off to another family. So but hey, sometimes we need to let go of things to make room for other new ones. And I'm sure the guy that would be owning this would be taking care of this. I mean, he's not gonna be babying this. He's gonna be using it. But for whatever he's gonna be using it for, I'm quite sure that it's gonna be there. It's not gonna be failing him. And it would just be so badass that it's gonna be standing the test of time and the torture test that he's gonna be bringing onto this guy. And that it came from me, knowing that it came from me, consolation would be, I provided a very tough blade, and it never failed. That alone, I would call that to be a sweet deal. And there you have it, folks. It's a gloomy day. I mean, it's raining. I'm sure you can hear some of the raindrops in the background. But as I've said, need to let go of things to make room for new ones. I'm just happy to show you the best 3 knives in my collection one last time. And that will be it. I hope you liked the video. Subscribe if you haven't. Please keep the support coming. I do appreciate it. And you guys have a good day or a good night, and I'll see you guys in the next video.